Okie dokie, we are live. Hey everyone. Hey
Hey,
Kathy.
hi Melissa. Hi everyone. Thank you for watching Mortgage Talk. So happy that you are here with my Vanna, who is Melissa Shane. Hey Melissa, thank you. Uh,
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Happy New Year.
yeah, Happy New Year's, right? Oh my gosh, 2026 is upon us. I don't know, 2021, I'm like, oh, well, we make it another year. Here it is, 2026. So there you go. That is a great thing. Hey, if this is a little fuzzy, not to worry, Melissa will take care of that later. So there you go. Thanks for joining us. It is a brand new year, and we have a market update from NAR. So wanted to share what Lawrence Yoon of NAR has been sharing to others. So NAR predicts that this year we're going to have a 14% increase nationally in the sales of homes. So 14% more homes will sell this year. So that's great news for all of us in our industry. We would love more business, wouldn't we? Yes. Mark in the comment, no, I don't want any more. I have too much. Or yes, it's going to be great. So that is, so the great stay is over, right? People tired of waiting for their house, to whether the rates dropped significantly or not, but they've had more kids or they've had less kids. Kids have gone to college in the last 5, 6 years, or they've had new babies and have more kids, or sadly, baby boomers might be passing away and stuff. So there's activity and time to move on, right? So time to see what's best, or even if the house fits you, but your debts, oh my stars, are at 1.4 trillion in debt, it might be time to actually look at consolidating some of that and maybe doing a refinance and paying some debt off. So using that equity that you have gained over the years might be beneficial for you. So things to think about. They also talk about the paycheck versus the price, right? So they believe that your home price will equity wise is going to grow maybe 2 to 4% in this coming year. So that's on average, I think it's like 5.6. So this is lower than average. But what that does is it kind of gets your dollars catching up. So if you've had raises or if you get raises, your ability to buy increases, of course. And if the growth of the equity slows some, hopefully they come together and they make it a little better so you can actually either get rid of the golden handcuffs or actually go for first time home buy and do that, or either get a bigger house or a smaller house, resize the house that fits you. So this might be a great year for that opportunity. I think every year is a great year. If it meets your needs, go do it. Because either way, and I know, Melissa, we've said this many times, if you're paying $1,500 in rent, you just gave your landlord about $98,000 in 5 years. And if you're paying
Yep.
$2,500 in rent, which is a lot more, it's like $150,000 that you've given your landlord, and you walk away with nothing, right, Melissa? Just nothing.
Exactly.
So had you done that in the 5 years, you would have had, even if it was the 2 to 4% growth and the starter home's around 300,000 or whatever it is where you live. I mean, that's equity that you may have gained over that time. So anyway, if you're ready to live in a home, make it happen for yourself. Give us a call. Let's get you pre-approved, because that's how you start. Where can you actually buy, what payment's comfortable, and then you go shopping. So they talk about an inventory recovery, 20% recovery. So what they're talking about is that in 20 and 21, it was crazy. There were so many offers and stuff. Things were flying off the shelf. People said they wouldn't do the home inspection just so they could get the bid and stuff. Right now, with the growth of the homes on the market, we have a lot more inventory. That gives you, the buyer, time to actually look and see and think about it, check out some more homes. You don't have to make it in an instant decision. You don't have to give up inspection, any contingencies and stuff. And in fact, for the most part, a lot of sellers are even paying closing costs right now. So, there's a lot of possibilities and opportunities for you buying in and or selling also during this time. We've got buyers looking, we've got buyers pre-approved wanting to look. So let's just all move that energy positively so that people who want to sell can move on, and people who want to buy can get in, and it's a win-win for everybody. They talk about the haves and the have-nots, right? The equity gap. So We do have less first-time home buyers right now. So your number one buyers and sellers are 40 and or senior. So the boomers and age 40 as the first-time home buyer at the moment. So different. But I will tell you, we had five somewhere between 20 and 24-year olds buy with a lot of cash down because they stayed home, saved their money. That's a great thing to do. Any of you new on the market to buy, start saving every penny. It adds up so quickly. People don't realize that. So, but yeah, the first time home buyer, that age, it used to be 34, now it's 40. So that makes my heart sad because at 40, usually you are married and you might already have kids. So let's see if we can work out getting you in. There's all different types of programs, and we do most of all the kinds of programs. So check us out and see if there's a program that fits your need. We would love to do that. And there's something here I really want to talk about before our time is up this morning. Pricing sensitivity, the 3% rule that they talk about. So um, it's interesting because I've been in this industry. Can you believe it? You should say, hey, this year now, I've been at 30 years, a long time, seen a lot of stuff.
Woohoo! Big number.
Woohoo! Yes, I'm young again. I'm 30. So what happens is that you come away, 20 and 21 was a while ago, but it feels like yesterday for a lot, the COVID era. So, mark this time in our life, right? And people get really stuck on, oh, I have a 2% or 3% rate or whatever it is and stuff like that. It's just it's unique. And I will tell you from a lender's perspective, I had buyers buying stuff that needed all kinds of work, and the seller wouldn't do anything because they could sell it to the next guy for more money. So they had to make decisions on that and so on. It was actually horrible. It was just really horrible for them. So, um, however, what that did is it made a lot of people think, wow, my house is now worth $2 million or $1 million, or oh, I wish we had that cartoon. It's pretty cute what people think of their house. But basically, you feel your house, because it is your home, is a mansion and it's beautiful and it's worth so much money because 3 years ago they sold theirs for, 400,000. Mine must be worth 650 right now. And that energy is still out there. It really is. And
Mhm.
sellers, please, and realtors is education. It's setting the right expectation. That does not exist anymore. It hasn't existed for 3 years. And you're requesting realtors to list your house at an unreasonable price. You don't want to lower the price. And then they say to you, well, in 2 weeks or 4 weeks, we have to lower it. And you're like, no, you get pissed off, it doesn't sell, you fire them, you go get somebody else who comes in and said, it's only going to sell at this. You're exhausted. You say, okay, buyer comes and you sell. When that first realtor had already educated you correctly, right? The appropriate education. It's our mind that's saying, no, it's worth more when it's not. Understand, nobody has equity. Equity is only when you sell and you get the money in your hand, then you now have equity. Until then, it's a maybe. It's always a maybe. So there's equity growth per se, but until you actually cash it in, there is none. I mean, if you look at silver today, silver's rising, but until you cash it in, it's not worth anything to you. It's just a coin that's sitting somewhere. So understand that your equity is a number that is proven by what today's market is actually going to bear. So if you think it's worth 650, but somebody says, I will give you 500, somebody says, I'll give you 505, and one says, I'll give you 490, that's what the market is bearing today. Can that change in 6 months, 9 months, 2 years? Yeah. But where will you be? How many more kids will you have or not have? How old will you be? Do you want to wait? So understand though, if you buy in a market that's down in your mind, you're going to also, if you sell in a market that's down in your mind, you will also buy in a market that is down in your mind. So when you sell high, you buy high. And when you sell low, you buy low when you're buying and selling at the same time in the same market. All right, just keep that, it's even. I did the same thing. We sold our house. It was nice, but I had to buy high because I sold during high time. So that's how that works in our industry. So just kind of remind you that Your realtor knows they have all that information and data on their fingertips. Trust them. You trust them enough to list your house, trust them enough to guide you through the process and give you great information. And you know what? If you want buyers to come, lower the price. I had a client who has their house listed, we'll just say for 600,000, and nobody's coming, right? And they're like, see, I knew it was worth 700. We need to do that. If you have no one looking at 600,000, there's not anyone going to look at 700,000. You probably need to go to 550 and then start some activity and energy, right? Maybe get competing offers, but raising it up is not going to create more lookers. It just won't. Anyway, all right, that's the news we have from Mortgage Talk today. Um, and Melissa, anything you'd like to add?
As always, if you're watching the recorded version of this, if you have any questions or comments, we monitor those always. So please make sure to leave your opinion, ask any questions you have. If you're a buyer, if you're looking to buy, it's a great time to get pre-approved, get prepared. So I'm going to put that link also in the comments if you want to do that application. But yeah, it's been great mortgage talk. Excited for the year. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Yeah, thank you, Melissa. And yeah, our number, for those of you who want to write it down, is 509-999-6464. Please give us a call. In the comment section, Melissa will also have that link to the NAR article. If you're interested, there's a lot
Mhm.
more information on there for you to glean and take a look at. So thank you for entrusting us for your mortgage information and needs. And if you have more questions or different loans or things you're curious about, please mark it down there and we will address that at the next mortgage talk. So
Yep.
love to all of you. Happy New Year. Be safe, sane, happy, and healthy. So um, take care. Melissa, thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. See you next time.
See ya. Bye-bye.